Gretchen Esser, 219 North Eagle Street, Marshall, Michigan. So this is my first time speaking in front of you, and I would like to apologize for not doing it sooner. 3 kids, gymnastics, I'm late usually to meetings on Monday nights. Also couldn't make it to another meeting or the school board meeting because they're all the same evening, but I know you're seeing a lot of new faces at some of these meetings that haven't been here, and I'd like to apologize for that as well. I've lived here almost 5 years now, and this is my first city council meeting. Shame on me for that, but shame on you if you pass these land transfers. When we moved here almost 5 years ago, the realtor we used had to have known about this at the time, this plan, as of his positions as of now. And we were never told this would be happening. Never a hint of this happening at all. We would not have moved here. We picked Marshall specifically so my husband would be within close distance of his job at the railroad in Battle Creek on East 7th Street. And we didn't want to live in Battle Creek. We didn't want to live in Albion. I grew up in Northwest Ohio. I'm familiar with Toledo, Ohio. I'm familiar with Detroit, Michigan. I didn't want to live near somewhere like that. I went to college in Bowling Green State University in Bowling Green, Ohio. So I'm very familiar with those areas. Grew up close to Fort Wayne. We didn't want something like that. We wanted historic Marshall, Michigan. My parents, right before I was born, had been coming to the house tours here from Northwest Ohio because they loved it so much. They were very excited to recognize some of the homes on Prospect near where I live on North Eagle that they remembered visiting when they came to those home tours. I just don't understand the logic behind this, if there is any. I get the idea of money, jobs, etc., but considering most factory jobs are like a fast food restaurant rotating through and it's hard to keep them filled, and you're destroying 2,000 acres of farmland, I just don't understand this. I've heard more people at the township board meetings I have been to, and just tonight in the maybe 20, 25 minutes I've been here, against it than anyone speaking for it. And if the community, as Mr. Allen said, does want this, he said it's inaccurate, the community doesn't want this, well then why not let us vote on it? Why not ask the community what they want? I haven't heard one person ask me besides local people, not one official, elected official asked me how I felt about this or if I wanted this. Not one. But you're elected, this is your job, is to do what the people want. Well, you don't know what the people want. You've heard a few people who are from here maybe who want it, or people in higher positions who want it, but that's not the rest of us. So I'm very disappointed, would be the nicest word I could use for that. Mr. Allen also said this is a good example for children. I don't think so, I've got 3 of them. This is not what we wanted when we moved here. My daughter's extremely disappointed. We used to drive down C Drive all the time. It is a disaster right now. That looks nothing like historic Marshall, Michigan. It looks nothing like the farmland of Michigan. I've heard, well, there's lots more farmland. Is there though? How long do we keep saying that as we keep destroying it? Because there's only so much farmland. The Chinese connection, people can say you're a conspiracy theorist if you think that. But Ford is partnering up, all of you past this, are partnering up with Communist China. There was the Air National Guard base, which you're all aware of. This was shot down in Virginia because of Quantico. There's another one partnered with CATL, I believe Ford as well, down in Texas. I mean, I think it was today or yesterday, FBI just arrested 2 over secret Chinese police stations in NYC. Secret Chinese police stations in NYC. That's not a conspiracy theory, that's literally just happened. What is the plan for housing and funding for infrastructure for all this? We haven't seen anything, or at least I haven't seen anything come out with plans for housing, plans for funding. We're in a housing shortage as it is. How are we going to support this? I mean, I've heard that there are going to be some condos or apartments going up for some of the workers over in Battle Creek, but I haven't heard anything specific for Marshall. Who can afford to live in Marshall as a factory worker? I mean, and pay the taxes. And, I mean, honestly, I saw Clemens, I think, or whatever it is, down in Coldwater's hiring for $21.50 an hour. I believe that's maybe a little bit more than they're hiring for here. So the idea that there are no jobs around is complete fallacy. Also, my home was built in 1850, the one we currently live in. We want to live in the country, that was the goal, and that is the goal. Because we wanted a small farmstead for our family. Homes like those historic homes are not built, you would have to have probably close to $1 million to build something that sturdy with that type of foundation and that type of just decent build. I mean, you build a home these days, they're not that nice. So thank you for listening.